Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. If everyone will take your seats, we will get started. Jake, how are you?
I am extremely good. Extremely good. To me, this is the most wonderful night of the year because, it's almost better than Christmas. So here's the deal. Here's the deal tonight, and I'm going off script. Y'all just hold on just a second. This is the one night where we can come together, and it really doesn't matter what political party you are. It doesn't matter whether you're white, you're black, you're rich, you're poor, whatever. What's going to go on in this room here tonight, we can all agree is magical. And you are going to make this a phenomenal, magical night. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if this is your first time, second time, or third time, we're going to leave here with happy tears. I just want to thank you all for coming out and being a part of this 35th annual Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas celebration. So yeah, let's do it.
Well, this is my first time here, so I'm excited to be here with...
You're nervous, too.
I am nervous, just a little bit.
A little bit.
What can I do to bring down the nerves, you think?
I told you, just picture all these people naked.
Oh.
And you'll be good.
Okay, it's too many people to take in. I'm going to focus on one of you, so if I'm looking at you, you know why, okay?
I got you.
Well, this is my first time, but I'm very excited to be here with all the scholarship recipients and the alumni, and of course you, Jake.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you guys can continue and eat your salads. Jake and I are just going to continue with the program.
So, Jakelin, this is my 10th time to co-host this event. It continues to grow and get better every single year. And I'm particularly thrilled to be a part of tonight's program because we're celebrating 35th anniversary of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund, a remarkable achievement here in Northwest Arkansas. I am also excited about this tremendous gathering of friends who are here to rally around one important cause, and that's to create a network of support that empowers determined single-parent families through access to education. This special evening will honor our scholars as well as the generous individuals and organizations who band together to ensure these single-parent students succeed in their journey.
Absolutely, and Jake, as you mentioned, we have so much to celebrate tonight. 45 exceptional single-parent scholars who were chosen out of 135 applicants. That's amazing.
That is.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, those endowed scholars are featured in your program, and you'll also see them in screens throughout the room. The families and businesses established named endowed scholars are recognized each spring at the Pathway to Prosperity Brunch. Now, at that time, endowed scholarship donors and recipients have the opportunity to, get acquainted with each other. Endowed scholarship recipients chosen based on criteria set by the family and the businesses.
And furthermore, seated amongst us are many more scholarship recipients, graduates, and alumni of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund program. Now, we'd like these scholars, past and present, to stand right now so that we can recognize you. Now, as you see these people standing around you throughout the evening, take a minute to introduce yourself to some of these hardworking single parents who've joined us to show their gratitude of your support. And you'll be so glad you did. Their stories are amazing.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of those stories tonight. At Single Parent Scholarship Fund, our motto is scholarships, support, success. The general support of our community is exactly how Single Parent Scholarship Fund can assist so many deserving recipients with their financial resources that they can complete their degree or even career certification. Scholarships and other programs help scholars achieve their educational goals, which helps them provide a sustainable future for their families.
For 35 years, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has worked tirelessly to increase access to education to those who might not have otherwise had the opportunity. Now get this, since 1984, our community has reaped the benefits from resources and programs provided to these students. When we add career-ready, educated workforce to our community, everybody wins. Over the past 35 years, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas has awarded 9,500 scholarships worth over $6.5 million.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is a phenomenal impact as far as reaching benefits for every single one of us in this room here tonight.
Agreed. Now, thousands of single moms and dads have built their future off your health. Now, by making courageous decisions to go back to college, then establishing careers in our ever-growing region here in Northwest Arkansas, these students have been empowered to break the cycle of poverty in their families. Our graduates have fulfilling careers that pay sustaining wages and other benefits like retirement, health, insurance, and more. Our scholars can ultimately eliminate their dependence on government aid, charitable support, all the while helping our community grow.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and perhaps best of all, which is one of my favorite, the children of the recipients, of course, they also get to see their parents' hard work pay off.
Now, I have the honor of serving on the Community Leadership Council, where 3 times a year I get the opportunity to interview applicants and get to know their stories and their struggles. This particular interview process should be sponsored by Kleenex because some of the stories will just grab you and tear the emotions out of you, because it's an emotional experience not only for them but for us on the council. So the recipients in the interviews, you'd be amazed to learn about some of the hardships that these single parents have overcome, and it's beyond inspirational. Every semester, students reapply for the program to prove their grade points, reports, and they carry a minimum of 2.5 GPA needed to be considered for a scholarship. The quality and the determination of the recipients is clearly evident. The average cumulative GPA of all the recipients is 3.33, and the graduation retention rate, get this, an amazing 81%. Now, here's where they show out. If you compare that to the Arkansas average of 68% and 72% nationwide, in short, our scholars are absolutely amazing and it's succeeding at everything that they're doing.
That's awesome. Now, because of your generosity, a full-time student attending classes year-round can receive up to $6,000 in scholarship assistance.
That's
pretty
nice.
big time. Now, tonight we will hear from alumni, 2 current recipients, the children of an alumnus, 6 special award winners, and premiere the 35th anniversary video produced by KNWA. Now, as you're listening to these important stories, you will see repeatedly how scholars are building a future and foundation and education, and that's all because of you guys sitting right here in this room.
Our Spark of Hope Award honorees will receive a print from the local artist, Kelly Lur. Kelly's studio is located on Mountain Street, just off of the Fayetteville Square. Her work has been featured in many recent exhibitions. A portfolio with images of Kelly's paintings can be viewed on her website. And at this time, please welcome the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA board member Anthony Sumlin to the stage to lead us in the invocation. Following this, we'll enjoy our meals before resuming the program. So, Anthony?
He is right there.
Here he is. How are you doing?
Jacqueline, good seeing you again.
Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. All right, I'm ready for run for politics now that I can use a teleprompter. So tonight's program is dedicated to the honor of Marcia McCain, a founding board member who passed away earlier this spring. At this time, to celebrate Miss McCain, her life, and her countless years of service to not only our organization, but to many more, I'd like you to observe a moment of silence to be followed by our invocation. Thank you. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for everyone gathered here today. We thank you for the meal that will be served tonight, and we ask that it be used to strengthen our bodies. We pray that you bless these amazing parents and scholarship recipients as they continue their pursuit of advanced education and strive for new careers. We pray that you provide them with strength, perseverance, patience, and love during their journey. We thank you for the single parent scholarship staff, sponsors, mentors, volunteers, donors, as well as the families and their children that will support these students along the path to achieving their goals. We ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
So I would encourage you to continue to enjoy your dinner. And at this time, I'd like to welcome some special guests to our event this evening. Bootsy Ackerman with Congressman Steve Womack's office is here. Chris Hoover from Senator Tom Cotton's office. Hannah Henderson from Senator John Bozeman. State Senator Greg Leddig. State Representative Charlene Fight. Judge Christy Beaumont. Justice of the Peace Carrie Perry Smith is here. Representing the University of Arkansas, Chancellor Joseph and Mrs. Sandy Steinmetz. Representing Northwest Arkansas Community College, President Dr. Evelyn Jorgensen and the foundation staff. Representing Harding University Campus Director Dr. Meredith Young and her team. Representing John Brown University, Dr. Joe Wallenchuk alongside his leadership team. And the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas board members in attendance include Natalie Bartholomew, LaDonna Fleshman, Gina Gregson, Autumn Hudgens, Ruth Collier, Doris Cordez, Mark Burdett, Julie Garrett, Brittany Thompson-Little, Rhonda Moore, Anthony Sumlin, Carolyn Rodenfeller, and Randy Werner. Members of the Community Leadership Council and the Alumni Association. And thank you to all of the special guests for attending this evening. Let's give these folks a round of applause. And I have the honor of introducing a 3-time scholarship recipient, Briley Andrews, who's majoring in interdisciplinary studies in the areas of social work, child advocacy, and the communications at the University of Arkansas. Now, Briley plans to graduate in May of 2021. In 2019, she received the inaugural Frank Johnson Endowed Scholarship. Briley has 2 children, a 6-year-old Graham and 4-year-old Charlotte. Please welcome Briley.
Hello. Excuse me if I stumble. I am extremely nervous, and there are way more people than I thought there were going to be. So, I shall start my speech now. As the late Maya Angelou once said, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Throughout my life, I have encountered the devastating feeling of defeat more by the age of 22 than I would have cared to. This is not how I pictured my life at 22 when I was a kid. I can't recall what I assumed being an adult would be like, but I can almost guarantee that I wasn't picturing being a divorced single mother to 2 small children. Despite it all, I feel joy. I have said many times that my children have saved me. I describe it as my other life. Sadly, I can remember being very selfish and not really concerned with anyone but myself. I am also not proud to admit that I wasn't the kindest to everyone I encountered. School wasn't important to me, and I just didn't care about any of it anymore at a certain point. I can't explain what happened other than I had this new baby at the age of 16, and suddenly the world became so much simpler and clearer. My entire perspective had shifted, and my concern was now no longer what I wanted and needed, but the health, safety, and concern of this new, tiny, and precious life, and the example I needed to be for him and now both of my children. I have not always been a single parent. I was married at one point to the father of both my children, and I became a single parent in the fall of 2017. The financial burden was the hardest struggle. I am no super mom, but I have always dedicated my life to my children, so it was without second thought or worry that I would and could take on the full-time responsibility of being both roles to my children. I still sometimes don't think of myself as a true single parent, funny enough. I have been blessed to have the support of 3 of my closest friends as well as family. I know that there are other mothers out there who have absolutely nobody and nothing to turn to. Those are the mothers I truly commend, the ones who experience those walls of defeat 24/7 without a single raft to grab onto in the ocean they swim in, and yet they carry on without hesitation. I am incredibly grateful on a daily basis for the Single Parent Scholarship. College was and has been a dream of mine. At one point, I accepted defeat and a lie I had told myself that college was no longer an option for me, especially with 2 children. My 2 best friends, Emma and Sarah, during this time were about 1/3 of the way through their bachelor's degrees and never stopped encouraging me to go to school. They understood the necessity of having a college degree and would always tell me I was too smart not to go. I also had begun to think about the example I was setting for my children. I wanted and still want to be an example for them daily. I applied and was accepted into the Northwest Arkansas Community College. I was incredibly excited because I was finally beginning my college career. About a year into my time at NWAC, I started going through my separation and divorce. I was met with that wall of defeat once again and dropped some of my classes during a spring semester at NWAC. My friends and family were right there to encourage me and build me back up, telling me that I can't give up on my education. I immediately began the steps to start back up at the University of Arkansas, one of the first being my application to the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. School is such a blessing to me. I enjoy the opportunity to attend college so much. Although it may sound silly, I enjoy the teachers, the classmates, the feel of campus, the studying, the hard work, and every small to large detail in between. I took school and the previous opportunities afforded to me for granted as a teenager. I enjoy learning so much, but I have also come to truly realize that knowledge is our power. As Michelle Obama once said, you have to stay in school. You have to. You have to go to college. You have to get your degree, because that's the one thing people can't take away from you is your education, and it is worth the investment. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the video screen for the first video of the evening, the Spark of Hope Individual Award honoring David Ernstein.
A young David Erstein and his brother Christopher were shaped by watching their single mom work full-time as a teacher. While doing so, he recalls attending night classes while his mother worked toward a master's degree. It was always understood by David and his brother that education was a necessity to increase one's potential. Despite only one of 4 grandparents graduated from high school, it was made certain that David's parents, aunt, and uncle had successful access to higher education opportunities. David's parents did the same, especially his mom, who lived well below her means to ensure that her sons could go to college and participate in the college experience. David's grandfather was a pastor, and he saw the power of encouragement firsthand. When David was 13, his mom remarried a community leader in his hometown of Stuttgart, which set a positive example of giving back. The 2 men influenced many of his community roles. David was a member of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund Board of Directors from 2005 to 2010 and held a position on the executive committee as vice chair. The first thing David noticed when he walked into the boardroom was that he was the junior by at least 20 years of every other board member. David is recognized today for helping shape the Single Parent Scholarship Fund for the next generation, leading the way for many of his peers to become actively engaged. One of David's most memorable single-parent scholarship fund experiences was being in the room when the idea for Golftoberfest, our mini golf tournament, began. What started as a family fun activity has grown into a substantial fund and awareness raiser for the organization. David was also instrumental in the partnership with the always sold-out Rock the Runway fashion show events, which benefited Single Parent Scholarship Fund exclusively. But what stands out most to David are the instances when he witnessed hardworking single moms go from making poverty wages to doubling and sometimes even tripling their incomes for their families through the support and encouragement of the Scholarship Fund provided. To this day, David remains active on the Community Leadership Council and continues to sponsor events. David Erstein is an executive broker and first vice president of CBRE Fayetteville, where he focuses on office tenant representations, buyer site selection and acquisitions, various landlord brokerage activities, and investment sales. David is currently working with several regional and national clients, as well as marketing several high-profile commercial real estate properties. In his nearly 20-year career, David has participated in over $500 million in closed commercial transactions. His many other contributions to improve the community include formerly serving as a Big Brother for Big Brothers Big Sisters, where he was named 2008 Big Brother of the Year. David has served on the organization's board since 2009, and he is a past chairman of the 2009 Paint the Town Red event that benefits the American Heart Association. David served on the Rogers Chamber of Commerce Emerging Leaders as a board member and was a founding board member of Northwest Arkansas Young Professionals. He served as a diplomat for Fayetteville Chamber of Commerce and served as a former committee chair. David's other leadership activities include graduating from the Fayetteville Chamber Leadership Program as well as the Arkansas Chamber Leadership Program. He is an associate board member of the United Federal Credit Union and was selected as a recipient of the NWA Business Journal's 40 Under 40 class of 2004. Our region is a better place because David chose Northwest Arkansas as his home, and that's why we are proud to present the 2019 Spark of Hope Outstanding Individual Award to David Erstein.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for David Ernstein, Spark of Hope Individual Supporter Honoree.
They gave me an opportunity to step up to the podium, and I usually don't pass that up. Chancellor Steinmetz, I'd like to say on behalf of the C students that graduated from the U of A, here I am. But on a serious note, I'd like to thank my mom. She set a great example for my brother and I as a single parent as we were growing up, and so that's my passion for the organization. I'd like to also thank Barb Putman for getting me involved, Beth Poole, Jody Dilday, and some of the many other folks within the organization that have helped me along the way. Thank you.
Congratulations, David. Definitely well deserved. Thank you for your dedication to the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. Now it is our privilege to hear from a very special guest who continues to build on the foundation she established as a former recipient and promises to bring a powerful message. Dr. Angela Courage received the Single Parent Scholarship from 2006 to 2008 while completing her bachelor's degree. Now, during that time, she had 3 children still living at home. Now, Angela's youngest son, Sammy, delivered a memorable speech at age 12 at the 2007 Spark of Hope. Now, the family has been through many changes and challenges since. Sammy is now 24 years old, and Angela has 12 grandchildren. Amazing, right? Angela Courage holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Human Resource Development, a Master of Arts in Communication with an emphasis in intercultural, interracial, and organizational communication, and a doctorate in higher education with an emphasis in college teaching and faculty leadership. I'm out of breath naming all your achievements. Now, she serves as an adjunct professor at the University of Arkansas and John Brown University in the Communications Department. Please help me welcome Dr. Angela Courage.
Hello, thank you. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because it's working, it's working, it's working. Thank you for giving, and thank you for investing in hope. The Single Parent Scholarship Fund disrupts harmful cycles: poverty for prosperity, ignorance for knowledge, helplessness for empowerment, dependence with independence, and even violence with safety. When I was a young child, I had a recurring nightmare that I was looking down in this large pit, trying to figure out what was down there. And while I was trying to figure out what was down there, somebody came up and pushed me from behind into the pit. And I landed in a pit of snakes slithering all over me. As I looked up around the perimeter of the pit, I was begging and crying for somebody to help me. Somebody help me. And they were all people I knew that were standing up there. But nobody even reached to me. I continued to have that nightmare and others well into adulthood. I married, I had children, I buried 2 children, and I struggled to survive against the constant threat of violence, some from my own hand and some from other people's hand. My limited knowledge and my ill-informed beliefs kept me in that same cycle that I had grown up in, believing that demeaning voice that always said to me, "Well, who do you think you are?" I came to realize that I just had to go to school. I didn't enroll in college because I thought I could even pass one class. You see, I had also believed that voice that said, "You're not smart enough." I enrolled in college because I had exhausted all other possibilities, but mostly because I had one little spark of hope left. Thank you. So you, Single Parent Scholarship Fund donors and staff and volunteers, what you did is you lowered a ladder into that pit that I had lived my whole life in. What changed? Well, a lot changed. Some little things, some big things, but the main thing that changed was me. And the biggest thing, I think, was I become a much better mother. I was a more informed mother. I knew better how to discipline and lead my children. And so that was good because I had 5 children at the time, and now I have 7 because I acquired 2 more when I got remarried. And I have 13 grandchildren. And so I think that has made a huge difference in my life and in theirs. It not only does make a difference for what you invest, but it compounds what you invest when you consider all of the people that your graduates touch. Another thing is I became Courage. That's actually a court-ordered name. It wasn't my maiden or my married name. But through my process of school, I became Courage. I was finishing my last year in my doctoral program when I got a horrifying call from a prosecutor in another state saying that there was another girl who was standing up and saying, "Me too." I was 50 at the time, and she was 12. The state asked for my assistance, which obviously I gave. But this caused a struggle through flashbacks, and every single day struggling through my doctorate. I was still full of fear that I wasn't smart enough to finish my education. So that year I was able to step outside of a courtroom up to the perpetrator who had perpetrated against me many years prior and say, "You may tell a really good lie, and most people may believe you, but you won't get away with it this time." Thanks. The defense tried to have my testimony dismissed, saying she has a higher thinking disorder, of course, on the word of the perpetrator. Yeah. So when the prosecutor informed him that I had finished my doctorate the week prior, the case was over. The 12-year-old, she was protected, and the predator was convicted. I want you to know what else changed is I don't have those nightmares anymore. I know, thank God. I don't have suicidal thoughts anymore, but it's not just about me. That other girl who was 12, she's now 19, and she was able to go back to high school and get her GED. She is recovering, and she works full-time, and she doesn't cut herself anymore. So I hope that helps you understand there are compounded benefits. One of the benefits that just from investing in me, I now teach at John Brown and University of Arkansas, and I help mentor other single moms, and I calculated this week over 280 people just this year that I have either taught or mentored in college. And a lot of those are either single parents or the children of single parents who are first-generation children. So your investment is doing a lot more than you can see on the surface if you count graduation numbers. Another really personally fulfilling thing that happened is while I was working on my doctorate, my eldest son, who was 30 at the time, said, I want to go back to school. I want to finish my degree. So we were able to help him finish his degree, and I was able to award him his bachelor's degree on the stage at the University of Arkansas because I was on faculty. And so that was a hallelujah. So, in conclusion, life-changing wildfires are what you're creating, not just little sparks. Those sparks of hope create life-changing wildfires in people. And I want you to meet one of the children that you helped me raise and nurture through this scholarship. He spoke as a child speaker at the Spark of Hope banquet in about 14 years ago, and actually he was only 10 at the time, which I think you can see his picture right now, the little guy in the middle with the microphone. And what he said was, because of going through college with my mom, I will someday have honors cords of my own. He was awesome. I think everybody cried. He is an incredible and intelligent human being, one of my proudest things in life. A couple of years ago, here's an example of his incredibleness. A couple of years ago, he told me he was growing out his hair in case I needed a wig by the time we beat breast cancer. I'll have you know, I'm 26 months cancer-free now. And he's still growing his hair. So when he introduces me, he says, I want to introduce you to somebody who drugged me to every class, even night classes. We share a master's degree, and this is my mom. That's his proud introduction of me, but I want to tell you my proud introduction of him. He is preparing to marry his fiancée, Sarah. He's preparing to buy a home, the one he helped me renovate when he was little. He is a rising star at Lowe's on the management track. And this evening, I proudly introduce you to the spark of hope you helped me raise and feed and develop. He's a great human being, a great study assistant, a graduate degree sharer. My son, Sam. Sam, would you please stand? Right over here. Thank you all. Thank you so much for creating wildfires of hope. That's really what we're doing here. Thank you.
Wow, what a story. The scholarship program is built on what is known as a two-generation approach. We know that the children of college graduates are more likely to attend and successfully complete college themselves. So, by investing in the education of the parent, you're ultimately investing in the education of their children and countless generations to follow. Tonight, we want you to meet the children of Liz Baker Ray. Liz's journey to a college education stopped her at the age of 19 when her daughter Rose was born. 3 precious sons followed, Quanah, Samuel, and Gabriel. In 2010, seeking a safe place and a new start, Liz picked up her little family and moved to a little home at the Baker family farm in my hometown of Prairie Grove. Where is Liz? She's with her 10-year-old, her 6-year-old, her 4-year-old, and her 1-year-old, Liz registered for college classes at Northwest Arkansas Community College and received her first award letter from the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. In 2013, Liz earned the double associate's degree in Homeland Security and Emergency Management, which probably comes in handy with 4 kids. I'm just throwing it out there. Through the 11 scholarship awards and the continued support of family and friends, Liz continued her education at John Brown University, graduating in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in organizational management. She was also a 2013 Lois M. Fry Memorial Scholarship recipient. Because of the connections made at the Single Parent Scholarship Fund, Liz was contacted and interviewed by Walmart's Health and Wellness team, and in 2015, she started her career at Walmart. Over the last 4 years, Liz moved from managing contracts for health and wellness into account management and onto her current role as Director of Managed Care for Walmart. Liz makes her very full home in Prairie Grove with Rose, Quanah, Samuel, Gabriel, and you'll meet them tonight. Rounding out the house is her husband, Russ. Bonus daughter Loli, Bear the dog, and Phoebe the cat. Lord have mercy on Liz. As you can tell, Liz has a very rich history with the Single Parent Scholarship Fund, and that's why we thought it would be appropriate for you to meet her children who walked the journey with her. Please welcome Rose, Quanah, Samuel, and Gabriel alongside my co-host tonight.
Mom, don't worry, we won't get too personal, okay? They're in good hands. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off by letting everybody know your names, how old you are, and where you go to school.
I'm Rose, I'm 17, and I go to the Prairie Grove High School.
I'm Gabriel, and and I go to Prairie Grove Elementary School.
I'm Samuel, and I'm 12, and I go to Prairie Grove Middle School.
I'm Quanah, I'm 14, and I go to the Prairie Grove High School.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna go off script. Who's mom's favorite, you think?
I was born first, so automatic.
I was the easiest child.
You're the baby, okay. All valid arguments, I love it. So Rose and Quana, let's kick things off. What was life like before your mom went back to school?
We were very financially unstable, so in order for us to even like get a kickstart, she never had an actual career. She always had very small jobs, not really enough to support a whole family. And we had, right before she applied to go to college, we had just moved in with our grandparents in Prairie Grove, and so we were pretty much just living off of their stuff, and it was kind of rough, but it was okay.
What about for you, Quana?
Yeah, we weren't very financially stable, and we had to live with our grandparents and live off of what they had because we didn't have much.
Why is your mom's education so important to you guys?
It is showing us how like we need to go to college and everything, and it was important because it got her a career and it got her to where she is today. She wouldn't have the career she has now if she hadn't gone back to college. So,
Any challenges while your mom was in school?
We didn't get to see her very much because she was working during the day while we were at school, and then whenever we would get home, she was working again, but at college.
And then have you attended the Single Parent Scholarship Fund before? Have you attended a previous event?
yes.
What do you remember about it?
Like this part of it? Yes. So I remember the first time I came, I was very young. I think I was 12, so I was just the age like you could come. And I remember being with my mom. She's like, okay, we're gonna get all dressed up. And I was super proud of her whenever they recognized all the recipients, and it was very fun, and I liked it.
What about you? Do you remember?
I think the first time I attended something like this, I was 10, and I came to a Spark of Hope, and I remember seeing my mom talk. Yeah.
What about after your mom graduated?
Well, after she graduated, we had finally bought our own house. We left the farm.
Yay!
Yeah, that was a big stepping stone. And then we had gotten a dog. We got a brand new car. It was very nice. And so we had really kind of started over, and along with my mom getting her new job at Walmart. So it was just a big, brand new thing that we hadn't really experienced before, but it was a good thing.
Yeah. And I'll let each of you answer this. Why are you so proud of your mom?
I'm proud of her because she was brave enough to go back to college, and then she made more money, and we could actually buy a new house, get a new car, get a dog, and yeah.
It's fun.
I'm just proud of her because she had the guts to go back and basically start over our life, and it takes a lot of work to do that.
Very true.
I'm proud of her because she had enough bravery and dignity to go back to college and get a career and start over our lives.
What about you, Rose?
Well, she couldn't really attend college whenever she was right out of high school because she had me. So I'm most proud of her for just having enough dignity, and like, she was, I don't know the word, she was very brave, like they said, to be able to go back with 4 children on her own, because there's a lot of us still, and it's still crazy. So the fact that she did it by herself was like really crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, did anybody help mom with homework? Anybody help mom with homework?
Gabe did.
You did?
Yeah, you did. We all
Do you
helped her.
remember? It's like I don't remember. Now, what do you guys want to be when you grow up?
I want to be some kind of music professor.
Very good.
I wanted to play basketball for the U of A.
Yes, woo pig.
I don't really know.
I want to attend the U of A whenever I graduate next year, and I want to do something in the fashion industry, like own my own store or design my own stuff.
Very good, very good. Anything else you want to say about how amazing your mom is?
Well, she is so amazing. We've been through a lot.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
We've been through a lot, and it has not been easy at all. And the fact that we're here getting to talk about it, and that I see other kids, here that were in the same place that I was a few years ago when I came, is just really amazing. And I love getting to see the other families grow like we had the opportunity to do.
Very good. What about for you, Quana?
What Rose said.
Liz, you have some amazing, amazing children. They are clearly very, very proud of you. Let's give Liz a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, now we invite you to turn your attention to the screen as we introduce the 2019 Spark of Hope Award honoree for Supportive Community Partner, the Glenn Conklin Foundation.
The Glenn Conklin Charitable Foundation was established in 1997 with the purpose of enhancing the education and physical well-being of the disadvantaged or physically challenged in Northwest Arkansas. The foundation's giving priorities include children, children's hospitals, vocational or secondary education for adults in need of financial assistance, and religious organizations providing food, housing, and personal needs for the less fortunate. Miss Mary Glenn Conklin was an educator both nationally and overseas, including the Panama Canal for some time, until she lived and retired in Springdale. Mary Glenn, who was called Glenn by those who knew her best, attended First United Methodist Church in Springdale and lived her final years at Butterfield Trail Village. Miss Conklin passed away in 1999, and her wish was to leave a lasting legacy of support through funds that she inherited from extended family. The Conklin Foundation is now administered by Lisa Higgins, CPA, and Kyle Jenner, financial advisor. Voting board of directors include Lisa Higgins and attorneys Sean Daniels and Amy Wilborn. The intention of the directors is to use the foundation's earnings each year to make a significant impact limited to the charities of interest while keeping within the giving criteria set by Ms. Conklin. To date, the Glenn Conklin Foundation has awarded over $950,000. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has been honored to be included as a beneficiary of the Glenn Conklin Foundation since 2010. Other local charities the foundation supports include the Fayetteville Public Education Foundation, Peace at Home Family Shelter, Welcome Health, and Fayetteville Boys and Girls Club, just to name a few. We are honored to present the 2019 Spark of Hope Community Supporter Award to the Glenn Conklin Foundation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lisa Higgins, representing the Glenn Conklin Foundation.
I'm not very good at this. On behalf of my people that are sitting right here, and Ms. Glenn Conklin, we are very proud to participate in the great things that the Single Parent Scholarship does. We have been able to give over $50,000 to the scholarship fund over the years. And thank you very much for this award.
Congratulations and thanks to the Glenn Conklin Foundation, a well-deserved recognition for the years of philanthropic generosity in Northwest Arkansas. For those of you that were here last year, you had the opportunity to meet our next speaker's children. And tonight, you hear from her. Amelia Bautista is an 8-time scholarship recipient pursuing an Associate of Science at NWAC with plans to apply for the dental hygiene program after graduating in May of 2022. Amelia is a 3-time recipient of the Bob and Diane Shaw Family Endowed Scholarship. Amelia has 3 sons and 1 daughter, a 19-year-old Brighton, 17-year-old Brendel, 15-year-old Bianca, and 14-year-old Blige. Friends, please welcome Amelia Bautista.
Good evening. I would say I'm a little nervous, but I'm a lot nervous. I'm going to share with you a little personal story or journey, but what I called my testimony, because overall, God is good. At the age of 20, I had met a man that would become my husband, my children's father, and sadly, my abuser. Being young and naive, I stayed and endured physical, mental, and emotional abuse for 9 years. I had completely lost my identity of who I was. I was miserable, and my children were watching how I was being mistreated. I wasn't being the mother they needed because I wasn't willing to fight back. We deserved a good life, and I would manage to make home wherever, wherever that was at the time a happy home. But my children knew it wasn't completely happy. At the time, Brighton was 9, Brendel was 7, Bianca was 5, and Blige was 5. Through all the abuse, I made sure that my kids didn't see how much I was being mistreated by their father, but it was taking a toll on me. I was becoming so miserable and unhappy, and my kids were suffering too. I knew that then that would be my reason for living a better life, for choosing a better life. By 2009, I had been praying and working up the courage to leave my husband. The kids and I hadn't seen their dad in 2 days, and that was normal. We liked it when he was gone for days at a time. That was my first clue that the kids wanted peace. I came home late from a bad day at work, and as soon as I walked in our apartment, I saw him sitting at the table. He had an angry face, the face of I've had a bad working day and bad day. I knew that this meant there would be an argument about why I was coming home late. After having a couple of days of happiness of just the kids and I knew at this moment that we needed and wanted to be happy without him. I noticed my kids in the living room gathering and circled. My oldest son was comforting the youngest, and he looked at me with a worried face and watery eyes. And I'm out to him, I'm okay. It's gonna be okay. The fight for my new beginning began right there that night. I had enough of the abuse. I fought that night with all my strength. I wanted him to leave, and I wasn't scared for me anymore. My kids were my motivation to give them a better life. Not only a better life, but a happy and stronger mother is what they deserved. I was 29 at the time, and I knew that the kids and I couldn't and wouldn't survive another 10 years of being mistreated. Life wouldn't be easy raising 4 children on my own, but it was a safer and happier way of life. I knew taking a leap of faith to the unknown for our future was better than enduring abuse. We moved into a 3-bedroom duplex, and I told my kids, this will be the last time we move unless we move into a house of our own, as we have lived in 11 different homes at this point. The next move will be into a house we could call our own. I just wasn't sure how I would do that. At the time, I was making decent money and I could cover our bills, but I still wanted more for the kids, or my kids. I realized I needed to improve my education to improve my income. At this point, I had been in the dental field for 9 years as a dental assistant. I decided to go back to school and pursue my goal of becoming a dental hygienist. I began to worry, though. I wasn't sure how I would be able to afford school, rent, and my kids' expense working part-time and attending school part-time. I knew my goal would be difficult to accomplish. It was going to be a marathon for my kids and I, and not a sprint. It was then that I heard of Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas, an amazing program that helps single parents with income while they go back to school. Not only was I receiving support and encouragement from Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas, but after several failed attempts, our family was also approved to become a part of Habitat for Humanity program. We were getting a new home, and I was receiving scholarship and encouragement from Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. This was our motivation to improve our lives. Building a home through Habitat for Humanity has been great, but it has also been tough. The process of building a home would wind up to 5 years, and my degree would take 6. Through it all, Single Parent Scholarship Fund of North Arkansas has been there for my children and I. Working part-time and going to school part-time can take a toll on us, but I continue on the long marathon of better life for our family. We just recently moved into our new home. Finally, the project is complete. And I can now focus more on school, because it's been tough. Life hasn't been easy for me, but I'm strong and resilient. I am one step closer to realizing my dream of being a dental hygienist. I plan to apply to dental hygiene school next spring at Missouri Southern State University in Joplin, Missouri. One of my greatest accomplishments this far in life is showing my kids that hard work and perseverance looks like. Brighton just finished his freshman year at Lyon College, and he's transferring to Arkansas Tech. He is majoring in mathematics and will also be on the football team this fall. Brendo will be a senior at Springdale High School, where he is enrolled in Law Academy and plays football. He also plans to pursue a law degree after high school. Bianca will attend high school this fall and has been accepted into the medical academy. She dreams of being an OBGYN. Blige attends Southwest Junior High, where he plays football and runs track. He would like to be a veterinarian one day. My children know how important education is, and they are all excellent students who work and support me during my journey as well. When things seem dark and feelings of despair creep on, like how I will pay bills, pay for food, pay for mine and kids' school items, Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has been there to help me. Every semester is like Christmas for our family. I can sleep knowing that there is an organization that gives us single parents comfort and support, knowing we have a community that believes in us and our families. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has been one of the biggest supporters, and they are the reason I am able to continue running this marathon known as life. Thank you to the organization and its supporters for your continued kindness and willingness to believe in my children and me. We're forever grateful. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA Board Member Rhonda Moore and Executive Director Tyler B. Clark.
This room is on fire. There's a spark of hope. There's a forest fire. Feels good. That's why I'm sweaty. Good evening, friends. Just a friendly reminder to use the Spark of Hope hashtag when you post on the social medias. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use, make sure you use the hashtag Spark of Hope when you're doing that. We want to see what's happening at your tables. Most of the things that are happening at your tables we want to see. So, also want to remind you to stay tuned for a special 35th anniversary video produced by KNWA, which will have its world premiere shortly. We should consider ourselves very fortunate to live in a region like Northwest Arkansas. With wealth, success, and amenities that we have, it's sometimes difficult to recognize that there is so many who are in need. Right now, 1 in 4 children in Northwest Arkansas lives in poverty and faces food insecurity. Children in single-parent families have disproportionately higher rates of poverty and food insecurity, and nearly 3/4 of children living in single-parent families are low income. But thanks to all of you, there is hope. Now is the time to invest in scholarships and build a more vibrant future for families. Tonight, I invite you to become a part of this community's effort to end poverty and create prosperity by offering encouragement and access to higher education. I know we can do this because Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has the most dedicated supporters in the world, but also Northwest Arkansas, who believe in the hardworking scholarship recipients that we have.
As a donor and a board member, I witnessed firsthand not only the benefit each dollar has on our recipients, but how fiscally sound your investment is. As you heard at the beginning of the evening, 45 of our families are funded through our endowment, which means we depend on Spark of Hope to support the remaining 90 families. With corporate sponsorships, gifts, and grants raised to date, we are $24,900 shy of what we need to raise for 2019. With the passion of those gathered here tonight, I believe that we can meet this goal for our recipients, and I mean tonight. At the core of who I am, when you ask me deep down what I really want, I just want to make a difference in this old world. And as a former educator, I can tell that you have that chance tonight. I've seen firsthand the difference that an education can make in a single-parent household. I've seen the absolute best and the most loving parents in the world struggle just to make ends meet. I mean, is that what you want for your kids or your grandkids? Do you want to be able to provide just the bare minimum? You don't. You want to be able to offer them not only the essentials, but you want to be able to offer them incredible possibilities as well. You have the chance tonight to change the life of an entire family. Not just help them rise out of situational poverty, but you can literally help them break the chain of generational poverty. You have the chance to help someone help themselves. You can strengthen the basic threads of our community by offering them the gift of education. I've witnessed how your gift tonight not only has a financial impact on a family, but even more importantly, it creates a sense of empowerment, a sense of belonging, and a wellspring of emotional security for an entire family. When's really the last time that you had a chance to do just that? That chance to really make a difference in this old world? Folks, you've got that chance tonight.
Yes, you do. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas is in a very unique position. A grant from the Walton Family Charitable Foundation covers our administrative cost and overhead cost, including our staff salaries, office supplies, rents, utilities, etc. So when you give tonight, your gift goes directly to scholarships and the student support services and programs.
Now, many of you have been to an event where you're just asked to give. At Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas, we want you to become a partner to ensure single-parent families have a foundation of success, starting with education. Help us grow a foundation for all of Northwest Arkansas. Your gift is an investment in education, an investment in our local community, an investment in the future of our community. Our alumni can take up your pledge cards with your gift or in just a moment. You can also make a gift easily and securely online at your table. So pull out your cell phone, open a web browser, and go to give.spsfnwa.org. That is give.spsfnwa.org. There you'll find an interface where you can securely pay with a credit card or PayPal. We'll also have volunteers who can assist you in the process, and they'll be circling the room with tablets to help you process your gift if you'd like to do it that way. At this time, we're going to bring up the house lights to allow you to complete those pledge cards. You can make a gift online or get assistance from some of our fantastic alumni.
All right, friends, let's finish those pledges if we would. Thank you to our Alumni Association for collecting those pledges, and thank you to First Security Bank, who are our bankers who will be counting those numbers, and we'll provide those with you in just a few moments. I'm actually going to go off script, which is probably dangerous, but Jake McBride did earlier, so I feel like I can. Actually, could I have Jake come up, please? Jake? Please welcome Jake McBride back. As Jake mentioned as he started, he has been our host for the last 10 years. And that says something about a dedication to a nonprofit. He is approached constantly, every day, to MC an event, host an event, and he not only serves as our MC for the last 10 years, but also dedicates his personal time to serve on the Community Leadership Council. He helps get cars repaired for recipients. He hates for me to say this, but he has the biggest heart. And so just a token of our appreciation, Jake, for your 10 years, thank you so much. Your own blue sphere for your office.
Somebody's in trouble. Who did this? You're in trouble. You're at the top of the list.
I'll take
I will say this. If you can come to this event and you can, Jacqueline's learning firsthand. She's like, I'm getting all the feels with all these stories. If you can come to this event and it doesn't touch your heart and you're a friend of mine on Facebook, defriend me. This particular event is something, if every nonprofit or if every group could gather a little bit of that spark of hope that's in this room, this world would be a much, much better place. And I just want to thank every one of you. My 10 years is no big deal, but your years of dedication and seeing the vision and seeing the future, thank you so much from all of us, from the staff of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund, and from all the kids, the recipients. Give yourself a big round of applause, because this is an amazing night, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna kill you.
Okay. And he will, actually. Thank you again for your generous support. We appreciate it at Single Parent Scholarship Fund. We will update you at the end of the evening about the progress we've made on our goal. You can continue to give via give.spsfnwa.org. There's those little handy tent cards on your table to remind you. Make sure you complete those pledge cards if you want to. We can also pick those up on the way out this evening when you throw your name badge into baskets. At this time, I do invite you to turn your attention to the video screens as we introduce a special Legacy Award presentation honoring the James and Wanda Irwin family.
Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas is pleased to bestow a special Spark of Hope Award for outstanding legacy to the family of James and Wanda Irwin. James and Wanda were raised a mile apart in western Washington County near Cane Hill and married in 1949. They each earned degrees at the University of Arkansas, hers in business and his in agriculture. Both were teachers in the Prairie Grove and Lincoln school districts before James was recruited by Tyson Foods in 1960, and the couple moved to Springdale, where they remained. James had a successful 22-year career at Tyson Foods. He was elected to Springdale City Council for more than 20 years. He was active in the Kiwanis Club and served on the first Northwest Arkansas Regional Airport Board, helping XNA become a reality. Wanda was a wonderful homemaker and enjoyed sports, entertaining, and playing bridge. She loved spending time doting on her children and grandchildren. James and Wanda were active members of the First United Methodist Church of Springdale. The Irwins have 3 children, Jim, Clark, and Paula. Some of James and Wanda's proudest days were when their sons played football for the Arkansas Razorbacks. They seldom, if ever, missed a game. Stemming from their years as educators, it was meaningful to James and Wanda to help students who needed assistance with college tuition. After James's passing in 2004 and Wanda in 2017, the Irwin children wished to memorialize their parents by continuing their tradition of making education possible for people in financial need. The Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas is truly honored to have received a generous gift in memory of James and Wanda Irwin on behalf of their family. Memorial scholarships have also been established at First United Methodist Church and the University of Arkansas. Jim, Clark, and Paula shared, quote, "Our parents placed a great emphasis on education and encouraged us all 3 to go straight through college and on to get our master's degrees. As early educators themselves, they realized the importance of an education and not only encouraged, but helped many of their former students achieve their goals of a college education and find gainful employment. We are pleased to make this donation to the Single Parent Scholarship Fund in their memory." Single Parent Scholarship Fund's board of directors and staff were touched to receive this special gift to honor the legacy of James and Wanda Irwin. And what an amazing legacy it is.
Please welcome Miss Paula Irwin to accept the Legacy Award on behalf of the Irwin family.
He didn't tell me this. I didn't know I was going to be up here. I was over there crying. But thank you so much. We did want to memorialize our parents in this way, and they did so much for so many people and never asked for anything. So we are happy to do this, and what a wonderful organization that we were able to give to in their memory. Thank you.
I'm gonna go off script really quick just to say, if anybody doesn't want their chocolate cake, holler. I hate to see good chocolate go to waste. All right, now often a student support system goes beyond family and friends, and it also includes their neighbors, their faith community, and their coworkers. For some students, having a flexible employer makes all the difference in the world. And of course, you can't go through school without having a favorite teacher or professor. Now tonight we are pleased to present the 2019 Supportive Employer Award and 2019 Supportive Professor Award. Now, of course, we've got several employers and professors nominated, but we can only choose one scholarship recipient, Winnie Milne. Did I say that right, Winnie? She nominated her employee, Ms. Heron Martin, her supervisor at Northwest Eastside Clinic, to receive the Supportive Employer Award. Please welcome Winnie and Ms. Heron Martin as Winnie reads her letter she submitted for nomination.
I'm so nervous. Maybe I might as well speak in Marshallese. I'm probably gonna forget how to speak English here, so many of you. But I just want to thank God for this opportunity and all the supporters that have been supporting me. This is Heron, and I've been working with her. And she has been there for me since we started working together October of 2017. Not only for me, but also to all our patients at Northwest Eastside Clinic, Ms. Heron has worked for the public, but also to the patients at Northwest Eastside Clinic. Ms. Heron has worked for the Public Health Department also for many years and joined Northwest team a couple of years ago. Knowing Ms. Heron here, she is such a kind-hearted nurse. She shows that she cares a lot for everybody. While working with Ms. Heron, I told her about my future goal to become a nurse practitioner and be like her in the future. Ooh. Sorry. Oh my gosh. She has shown me so much, not only how to treat patients kindly, but she has also shown me how great she is at her job. She has gone above and beyond countless times. When she knew what I wanted in life, she encouraged me to go back to school. I wanted to go for my LPN first, but she told me, why not go straight for my RN? As much as she believed in me, she has been there for me and has given me lots of hope and confidence through my studies. Since I have started school, I have not worked with her every day. I now only see her once every 2 weeks. But she still manages to ask me for an update on how school is going for me. Whenever I feel stressed or worried about school, she always encourages me, offers positive feedback and professional advice. She has been there for me since day one.
Miss Erin here is such a wonderful nurse, and I'd love to follow her footsteps and be like her in the future. That is why I believe she deserves to be awarded the Most Supportive Employer Award.
Here we are. Actually, I'm not supposed to be here. How y'all doing? Huh? Go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna do my best Jacqueline imitation. Somebody give me some chocolate cake. I'm just kidding. Graduating recipient Shannon Yeomans nominated Dr. Kim McComas for a Supportive Professor Award. Dr. McComas teaches curriculum and instruction at the University of Arkansas, and Shannon is here to share her special experience with her professor. Please welcome Shannon Yeomans and Dr. Kim McComas.
I'm just as nervous as everybody else. I truly believe I would not have graduated this last May with my bachelor's in mathematics if it wasn't for Single Parent Scholarship and Dr. Kim McComas. I am nominating Dr. Kim McComas for many reasons. When I first started at the University of Arkansas, I just took courses that I really thought that I would need. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be taking. I had no idea which classes I should take or when I should take them. After my first class with Dr. McComas, though, I expressed to her how unsure I was about what classes I needed in following semesters and when I should take them. By the next day, she had mapped out exactly what classes I needed for each semester, when I should take them, and exactly which semester I would be graduating. It took so much pressure off of me. Then a few semesters after that, I was struggling in some of my other courses. I was finding it hard to understand some of the concepts, and she went out of her way to find other students within our program that could help tutor me. She even allowed us to come into our UA Teach building after hours to meet with my tutors so I can meet with them in times that was available for me. Just this last semester, right as I was graduating, I had taken a course with her where we had to go up to Rogers to New Tech High to do some student teaching. With my classes, work, and kids, I could not find time to make it up to Rogers regularly to do the student teaching. She went out of her way to find me a separate teacher at Fayetteville High that I could meet with in 0 hour so it would fit into my hectic schedule. This course was also held every Thursday evening from 3:30 till 6, and at the time I didn't have after-school daycare for my children. I discussed this issue with her, and she allowed me to bring my boys to class with me every Thursday. It was amazing. These are only a few things that she's done for me over these past 4 years, and she deserves this award, the award for Most Supportive Professor, more than any professor I've ever known. I am thrilled and honored to award the 2019 Supportive Professor Award to Dr. Kim McComas.
I have to say something about Shannon. Those of us in math education are very familiar with the 8 standards for mathematical practices. And those are how we want students to think about and do mathematics, how to think mathematically. And the very first standard of mathematical practice is to solve problems, to make sense of problems and to persevere in solving them. And to me, Shannon just absolutely embodied that as a person and as a a math student and as a potential teacher of math. She persevered. She made sense of the problems in her life. She made sense of the problems in the math degree, and she persevered like none other student I have had. So I'm very proud of her.
Now enjoy the premiere of the 35th anniversary celebration video produced by KNWA.
In 1984, a handful of forward-thinking community members gathered, passionately discussing ideas to help make Northwest Arkansas an even better place to live. During this pivotal meeting, an enormous educational deficit and economic need was discovered. Single parenthood was on the rise, and single parents and their children were not thriving. The need was immediately clear, and the progressive group of civic-minded volunteers unanimously knew what their cause and purpose was meant to be: lifting single parents out of poverty through the limitless power of education. The Single Parent Scholarship Fund mission was born to help create better, brighter futures for single-parent families by offering encouragement and access to higher education. 36% of all children in Arkansas live in a single-parent household, and 45% of single-parent families in Arkansas live below the federal poverty level. In Washington County alone, there are 3,231 single women with children who are stuck in this cycle of poverty and relying on government assistance. A major factor that contributes to this problem is the lack of post-secondary education of the parent head of household. Arkansas consistently ranks near the bottom of the list in per capita residents who hold bachelor's degrees or higher. In Arkansas, 90% of single mothers do not hold a college degree. Single-headed families are more likely to live in poverty and face limited educational and occupational opportunities. And so, one parent at a time, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund founders started working toward removing the unseen barriers that single moms and dads were conditioned to experience on their paths to improving their quality of life. And with the success and momentum of the first semester behind them, the founders continued their journey to provide as much assistance as they could to help brave and hardworking parents break the cycle of poverty with education.
Over the last 35 years, this organization has made a name for itself. The mission speaks for itself. We have an outstanding staff. We have an incredible board of directors. But when you're able to let the mission speak for itself and watch the support of the community as a result of that, I think that says a lot for this organization.
Through the late 80s and 90s, SPSF Washington County became a United Way partner agency, awarding $500 for full-time students. In 1994, during our 10th anniversary, Bernice Young-Jones and Helen Walton were recognized as outstanding supporters. A milestone was reached in 2000 when our first staff member was hired, and shortly after, scholarships increased to $700. In 2003, the Walton Family Charitable Foundation established a gift to support the organization's operating revenue. Later that year, SPSF held the Celebration of Success, which is now the Spark of Hope. Adopting a regional approach, the Washington County office merged with Carroll and Madison counties, forming Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA. 5 years later, scholarships increased once again to $1,750 for full-time. In 2014, SPSF NWA entered Pathway to Prosperity campaign to compensate with loss of funding for over a third of the scholarship budget. The Northwest Arkansas community responded, and the campaign raised $3.5 million to support hardworking single moms and dads. From a small grassroots project to a nonprofit that changes lives, our organization flourished. 35 years later, Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has now awarded more than $6.5 million in scholarships to 9,500 fiercely determined single mothers and fathers.
When you're a single parent, you're usually just in survival mode every day, so you don't always have a lot of emotional support on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes having a resource like the staff at Single Parent Scholarship Fund and like the programs that they hook you up with, the professional programs, and just knowing they know the ropes. They've been helping students now for years, and so if you have a question and you can't figure something out, I always know I can email Carrie or I can email someone, and they're gonna probably have an answer of who I should talk to or where I should go for help.
Single Parent Scholarship is now witnessing the multi-generational impact of the scholarship, as the children of our graduates are continuing this cycle of academic success created by their parents.
I really thought it was just gonna be another scholarship that I got, to receive, and a check I could put in the bank that was gonna help me pay my rent and achieve my goals, but instead, it's become like an extension of my family, because the people here always, they're available to us, and they always make us feel cared for. They go the extra mile to send us note cards for, times whenever we're really feeling the pressure, like during finals or our birthday, and just kind of that extra time that they take to make us feel important and cared for is just so important.
Once a volunteer group of 10 has become a force, with a staff of 6, a board of 21, a community advisory council of more than 50, thousands of individual donors over the years, a fleet of tireless volunteers, alumni, and partner sponsors whose numbers are too expansive to count. Single Parent Scholarship Fund of NWA and its loyal friends are lifting parents up daily and making this mission matter.
I'm not a single parent, but there is something so encouraging to me, especially when you sit in those interviews during the interview process with the recipients, to watch their passion flow through their words, to see what they are overcoming. They're working, they're going to school, they're raising families. Their juggle is out of control. The work-life balance that they have to execute while still providing for their family, and seeing that they stay true to overcoming the cycle of poverty through pushing through all of this is just so encouraging to me, and I absolutely love being a part of this organization, mainly because of seeing what those recipients do.
Our community stands together in support of every single mother and father who has walked in our doors and walked out across the graduation stage. We believe in every one of them. Thank you for being part of the change. Thank you for rising to the occasion. Thank you for making the fabric of our towns stronger. Because of you, we are 35.
At this time, please welcome Board Vice Chair and Program Alumnus Ladina Fleshman and organization founders Ruth Collier, the Honorable Jan Judy, and Ralph Nesson for a special toast.
It is an exciting and historic year for Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. As you know, we are celebrating 35 years of creating better, brighter futures for single parents by offering encouragement and access to higher education. As Jake mentioned earlier, the organization has been privileged to award 9,500 scholarships, totaling more than $6.5 million to deserving, hardworking single parents who have pursued education as their pathway from poverty to prosperity. We couldn't have made it this far without you, and hope you'll be involved in the exciting future ahead. I am joined by the founders of our organization, Ruth Collier, the Honorable Jan Judy, and Ralph Nelson, alongside Doris Cordes and the late Marcia McCain, Charlotte Forsythe, Louis Fry, Lois Imhoff, Elaine McNeil, and Marjorie Margoff Wolf. They blew open the doors of possibility for those who never thought higher education was an option for them, let alone what opportunity they could have to achieve for themselves and their families. Please join me in offering a round of applause for our founders.
That's better than that one. That one's way up there.
Let Ralph say something. You go up and say something now. Let's let Ralph say something.
I am stunned at how this organization has developed over the years to be one giant family helping people help themselves. And it occurs to me that the organization was born and grew and developed here in our communities because Northwest Arkansas is a very special place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay right here for a second. Now please start pouring the sparkling cider at your tables as we get ready for a celebratory toast.
I'm no sommelier, but...
In 1936, Jesse Owens, Olympic gold medalist, said these words, which are fitting for our scholars. We all have dreams, but in order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. Please now raise a glass as we toast to the celebration of dreams becoming a reality because of hard work and the everyday heroes in the room. To success. Cheers.
Please enjoy the final video of the evening, introducing our Spark of Hope corporate awardee, Prairie Farms.
Prairie Farms began in Carlinville, Illinois in 1938 as a small producer creamery. Today, Prairie Farms and its partner Highland Dairy is one of the largest and most successful dairy cooperatives in the Midwest, with over 800 farm families, 6,000 employees, 44 manufacturing plants, more than 100 distribution facilities, and annual sales of over $3 billion. Prairie Farms is a nationally recognized leader in the dairy industry and is known for setting the standard for milk flavor innovations and producing award-winning milk, cheese, and cultured dairy products. Every year, Prairie Farms products bring home awards from the many dairy competitions that are held throughout the year. In 2018, its products won 39 awards and 14 first-place championship trophies, including a grand championship for premium chocolate milk at the World Dairy Expo Championship Dairy Product Contest. Supporting community education initiatives has always been important to Prairie Farms. As an agricultural-based company, they support the Prairie Farms Dairy Scholarship, which provides college scholarships to farm families or their children who major in agriculture, agribusiness, or an ag-related course of study. It is important for the company to support future generations in agriculture and assure a well-qualified and professional workforce to support it. Highland Dairy was formed in Springfield, Missouri in 1979 as a Prairie Farms joint venture with Mid-America Dairymen to serve Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, and Arkansas. As Highland Dairy became integrated with Arkansas, leaders in the Fayetteville plant saw a need to serve the local community. Through its Walmart connections, representatives from Prairie Farms were introduced to the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. Prairie Farms takes pride in supporting Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas because they know that helping single parents achieve their educational goals can help them find future employees. The Our Caps Your Cause program has donated over $185,000 to local charities. Our Caps Your Cause is a simple, accountable, and personal way Prairie Farms also supports nonprofit organizations and schools. Beneath each cap sticker on Prairie Farms gallon or half gallons of white and flavored milk is a unique redeemable code. The codes can be redeemed online, with each cap earning 5 cents. After 1,000 caps are redeemed, an organization receives a $50 check. Prairie Farms CEO and Executive Vice President Ed Mullins shared, "Giving back to communities through programs like the Single Parent Scholarship Fund is perfectly aligned with our agriculture education needs. Regardless of a person's economic situation or background, we believe that education is a tool that enables our future workforce." Prairie Farms is well deserving of the Spark of Hope Award for Outstanding Corporate Partner.
Please welcome to the stage Matt McClellan representing Prairie Farms.
It is kind of nice to always be the last presenter, or at least the last recipient. They told me I had until 10 o'clock, so whatever time. Maybe it was 9 o'clock, I'm not sure. But anyways, the video says it a lot. You don't want to hear it a whole lot more from me, but I will say this. There are 6,000 associates, especially those here in the Fayetteville area at Highland Dairy. If you've not been, just down the street, maybe 5 miles, that this means so much to us as associates that understand that what little bit we can do in this community makes a difference somewhere. And when I look at it in the room, even with the lights, I think it's important that we take a moment to also recognize the board, the staff, and the importance of what we can do to contribute, that they make the difference. We can all write the check, but they make the difference. And to all the scholars and recipients, I'm so proud of you. It's just been an outstanding evening, and we are truly honored to just be a part of this. Thank you very much.
Jake, I realized I was hogging the podium from you earlier today. I apologize for that.
It's all that chocolate cake you've
It's all the
had.
chocolate cake I've had, sorry. It makes me very excited.
That's why I'm single.
Now, as you read in the program, the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas has a strong base in corporate and foundation support. Now, we owe a special thank you to the Walton Family Charitable Support Foundation, Listerine, Happy Hollow Foundation, the Gateway Fund 2, and the Wingate Foundation for their leadership gifts, which make scholarships possible. Also, thank you to Cox Communications, KNWA, Fox 24, iHeartMedia, and Cityscapes Magazine, who ensure that single parents throughout Northwest Arkansas know that a brighter future can be theirs through higher education. Also want to offer a special appreciation and thank you to DW2 Studios, who created the award-winning packages for the evening. Have you guys enjoyed the videos? They've been really good. A complete list of our sponsors is included in your program. We're grateful to each and every one of them. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, Jake, you have the magic number.
I do have the number.
Okay.
But I was talking to Tyler backstage, and here's the deal. You can still give online through the end of the evening. I mean, till like midnight tonight. And like Tyler mentioned a little while ago, I do work with a lot of nonprofits. There's a little known secret. I've never known a nonprofit to turn money down at any point in time. So, write a check whenever you want to, pay some cash. You've heard some amazing stories tonight that maybe you came here and you had something in your mind what you were going to give. Maybe now you want to give a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. So, do we give the results now?
We should.
Drum roll. $18,440.55. And like we said, you can continue to give throughout the evening, whatever you may want to do. We want to thank all of you that are here tonight to support the Single Parent Scholarship Fund in Northwest Arkansas. I told you when we got here, you were going. Tyler, you should go after Kleenex. They should be the sponsor of this event. You heard from Briley, Amelia, Dr. Angela Courage, Liz Baker Ray's children. The single parent families are building a strong base for their future, our future, your future, and with the help of all of you with the Single Parent Scholarship Fund of Northwest Arkansas. So together, we're creating a better, brighter Northwest Arkansas. Thank you to our sponsors for their support in making the Spark of Hope a celebration of the community's investment in education. Congratulations to all the award winners, but most of all, congratulations to each and every scholarship recipient and their children. Your commitment to the education is just the beginning of your bright future. So we look forward to doing this all again next year.
Yes.
So we'll see you again next year. It's always the third Thursday in June. Enjoy your evening. Remember, the online bidding is still open. It would be nice to have 20 grand before we leave here tonight, and we can make that happen.
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Enjoy your chocolate cake. Y'all have a fantastic evening.
Have a good night, everybody.
Be careful.
Thank you so much.